You listen to the Gary Owen Podcast. Hashtag Get Some. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary Owen with the Get Some Podcast. As always, you can listen to this on iTunes. Just search hashtag Get Some or YouTube, youtube.com/GaryOwenCom. This week, I am in Spokane, Washington, June 27th to the 29th. I have never been to Spokane. This will be my first time. I have no idea what to expect. And then July 13th, I am in Las Vegas at the Palms Casino. I'm sorry. The Palms Casino in the Pearl Theater inside the Palms Casino, July 13th. And you won't be there.
Oh, I won't be in Vegas?
You're going on a trip.
I'll be in St. Lucia?
And I'm coming to St. Lucia from Vegas. So appreciate it. Because a lot of people don't know my wife's a travel agent. Oh, the return of Kenya is this week. Go ahead.
Hey.
And here's Kenya's problem with podcasting. She reads every comment and takes every comment to heart. And I try to tell her, stop.
Okay. I think the comments are actually really entertaining. So I do like to read the comments. In fact, this is the one comment I kind of took to heart and it made me think about it. Like, I think last time I was on, somebody said, you should keep your wife off the show with her hoish ways, or she wants to tell her hoish stories or something. You should just keep her off. But you know what my thought is to that is that I will talk probably about 80% of my life. And I'm an open book. I don't have a problem talking about sex. I don't have a problem talking about relationships, whether they're intimate or friendly, money. I just don't have a problem really talking about much. And the 20% of my life I won't talk about is only because my mother's still alive. So once she dies or gets dementia, I'm probably going to be talking about that 20% too.
Your mom wouldn't know you're talking about her anyways. She's in her own world as it is.
Yeah, but her friends are much more tech savvy than she is. And it's nothing in my adult life. It's like my childhood stuff that I wouldn't want her to feel guilty about. But so other than that, I really am an open book. And, I met a lady.
You just went on a 5-minute rant off of one YouTube comment, just like I said.
No, I just want to
personal.
I just want to explain that I am an open book. I'm living my best life. I don't really care what people think.
You just quote a little Duval lyric?
Did I? Oh.
Thanks a lot. Guess I'm not your favorite comic.
No, you are my favorite comic.
Oh, but you haven't been on since I did my special.
No.
So I came on a couple weeks ago, and this is 2 weeks later, I'm still giddy about it because I can't, and you're one of my biggest critics when it comes to stand-up. So now that it's been a couple weeks, the dust has settled. I just saw the first cut. Oh, so good. I think it's good. What did you think of the special?
Okay. So I have produced a couple of Gary specials and they were good. I think in terms of your stand-up, I think you looked good. I thought
Who bought the outfit?
Okay, Gary got his own outfit.
I know, right? I was proud of myself.
By himself. He got that. But he had these boots on. The boots only worked because he had the leather jacket on. But it was a light leather appropriate for the special. So anyways, he looked good. His timing was impeccable. Like he didn't rush through, so you were able to hear every word. He looked like he owned the stage. So I look at things like that. So no pacing, like the up and back. I mean, it was just...
No pacing? What does that mean?
Like sometimes you rock, not pace. I should use rock, like he does like this. Like, okay.
Like a double Dutch?
Without the Dutch. Yeah. Okay.
Just a double.
Yeah. So, but... when I say to you, it is so and better than any of the other ones, including the ones I produce. It is so effing good. I mean, good. The material is good. Like I was cracking up in the Bay. I was cracking up, and the guy who was directing it and one of the executive producers looked. He said, "Have you never heard his material?" I was like, he is so fucking funny that he still cracks me up like it's the first time. So watch it. I'm telling you, it is the best ever.
But some people say that too. Like,
and not just you, but a lot of the ones that I've seen. Like seriously, top five.
Well, a lot of comics say that, and they always be like, this is my best work ever, whether it be a movie or a comedy special. But all the years I've been doing stand-up, there's only been one time where I got off stage and I went, oh shit, that was perfect. That was in the pocket. And that was the Mike Epps. Special. Anytime I've done a TV appearance, I'm talking about any TV appearance in my life. Okay. And that was the Mike Epps live from the Nokia. That 20 minutes, looking back on it, I wouldn't have changed anything. I was like, God, that was perfect. And of course, I was sweating a lot though. And the suit was a Steve Harvey suit, right as Steve Harvey suits were going out of style. Okay. So as far as my outfit, I probably would have switched that, and I wish I wasn't sweating as much. Yeah. But I was going last after like 8 comics, and I was putting a lot of pressure on myself and my problem is when I do specials or any TV appearances, sometimes I rush in the beginning because I just want to get the crowd. Boom, boom, boom. I think the difference between this special and the past ones was, and a lot had to do with the city we picked. We picked San Antonio, and the voice, and that what set the crowd in the right frame of mind was the voice of God, I call it. The director from backstage piped in before I came on stage. He said, yo, you guys are going to be on TV. Look, I'm glad you guys are looking your best. And Gary could have picked any city. He chose San Antonio to do a special. And the crowd just went, because it's such a prideful city. Yeah. People like hearing stuff like that. Right. And as soon as you said that, and then you said it, usually I'm one to run on stage. I rush. Then I get my groove about 10 minutes in. Then I'm in there. And then I say goodnight and I run off stage. This was probably the first time I ever did a special where I really stopped. I said goodnight and I stayed on the stage and soaked in the love and waved. I waved to everybody in the third balcony, the second balcony, the box seats. I waved to everybody.
And that was my one thing, like just really take time and soak in that moment when you are done. And the crowd was crazy. So seriously, it was real good. Worth watching.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I got that feeling after the Epps one. I got a feeling. I remember I called you. I said, I think that was it. I think shit's going to start changing. And it did. It started changing the next week. It was like Clanigan started calling me to go. Remember they sent me to Japan first because they were doing those Shaq All-Star dates. And he didn't know. Maybe that was the crowd that night or anything. He goes, I want to know how he is to work with. And I want to know, can he hold the a rowdy, audience that isn't a TV taping audience for more than 10 minutes. So they sent me to Japan, of all places, to do a military base. And then the funniest thing about that trip was I went from Cincinnati to Detroit to Tokyo. And I remember before I got on the Tokyo flight, I'm in Detroit, we're sitting there and I was flying coach. Oh, and I remember I worked my seat. So I had the middle seat open because it was one of them 3-5-3. It was a huge plane. So 3 seats in a row, 5, and then 3. So I made sure I had the whole row, right? I was towards the back of the plane, granted. I was probably in row 50, but the row was mine, the 3 seats. And there was the 5 middle. There was a guy, one of the middle ones, and he was like, hey, can I move over? And I can't be a dick. I was like, yeah, so he was sitting on the aisle. I was in the window. And we sat there for 45 minutes and the plane wouldn't take off. We were like, what is going on? It's a 13-hour flight. Somebody was missing on the flight. And the captain goes, I know you're all wondering why we're delayed. We are missing one passenger. We have to find him. If not, then we have to unload everyone's luggage and get his luggage off this flight, which is going to take hours. And I was like, and so the guy, they found him. Okay. Where was he at in the Detroit airport? I don't know. But bar. They found him. When I say I had never seen an entire plane look at somebody. Like
the death stare.
Oh, and then he was sitting about 15 rows in front of me, right? The guy on the aisle seat wouldn't get up. There was a guy that had the aisle and then he had the window, right?
Okay, so he wasn't in your row.
No, he was like 15 rows in front of me.
Okay, got it.
But it was a big guy. He was sitting like this with his arms crossed and he went, no, I am not getting up. Step over. The guy had to step over him. That was his stand. Nah, bitch. You're going to step over me. And here's what's crazy. So the guy in the window seat that asked to move over was gay. Clearly he was gay. And as soon as they said, ding, you can get up and use the bathroom, he got up. I was like, where the fuck did he go? Right? Then he came back like a half hour later, grabbed his backpack and goes, thanks to me. and was gone. I go, what the fuck?
Are you in the air?
Yeah.
Oh.
I go, where did he go? He found the other gay guy on the plane. So I went and used the bathroom a couple hours later. He's bullshit with this other gay dude. I was like, dude, they found each other. They were having the time of their lives on that flight. They were buying drinks. I said, he found the other gay dude.
That's funny.
Thank you. I looked over like, oh, that's great. They found love on the plane.
Oh, and then you got your whole room to yourself.
I did.
Yes.
I laid down. I took naps. That was almost better than first because I was able to pull up the armrest and lay down flat like a little bed.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Take that back. Not better than first,
Okay.
but still 3 rows. I'll never do that again. But I remember I flew back and I said, I'm just going to upgrade my seat. I'm just going to take this L on this money. I said, I can't fly like that, coaching him and international. And then the lady upgraded me for free. She was real cool. She was, I think you got a lot of miles. And she goes, let me see. We might have an open seat. I don't know what she did, but she worked it.
Oh, that was nice.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That was nice.
So when you don't read the comments, you do read the comments.
I think they're funny.
But one of them, and you said to me, and I said to you, and we both read it, was somehow you know a lot lot
Oh, no.
nothing.
Okay. This is no. This was another one. This comment made me laugh out loud. He said, Kenya knows a little about a lot. That made me, what do you want to do?
Just read your phone. You're getting a text.
Oh. Okay.
What'd they say?
That made me.
The code is all in the open again.
Sorry. I'm picking it up.
I'm trying to help you here.
Okay. I don't know what
Your
is going
code?
on right now. No, I'm just,
Did you
I'm
get the
in the
text?
middle. Okay. Let's see.
Did you get it?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Just a little love note.
Oh, thank you.
Just want to see if you're going to give your code out again. Oh, what good is that now? You put your phone face down like they're not going to know your code. See how she protected her phone now? Boop. Nobody's going to see it now. It's face down.
Okay. So anyways, there's one comment which I laughed.
Over here.
Sorry. There's one
Okay, hold on. We talked about that. I said, Kenya, you be looking right at the camera when you're on the podcast. She goes, because you ain't looking at me. I've looked at you this whole podcast.
No, what I said to you is because when you're looking at, I feel like we are Diana Ross and Lionel Richie when they did this duet, Endless Love. She would never look at him. It was all about her. And he was looking, and he was like looking at her. But anyways, but I'm talking to the kingdom. But anyways, the comment that made me laugh out loud was a guy who said, Kenya knows a little about a lot. I just thought
a little funny. About a lot.
I just thought it was funny.
So I told you before you came on this week, I said, I'm going to leave it to you. I'm going to leave the topics up to you and I'll just go with it. I'll chime in. I might not know shit about them. And I didn't know you were going to write a thesis.
No, these are
but here's what's funny. The podcast is rarely over an hour. You have about 20 topics.
So listen, you want to have more than you may need in case something goes very short or wrong.
Right.
Okay?
Got it.
So you always say I am
kind of like penises. In case one comes up very short.
You want to tell you a funny story about a short penis, a little penis?
Okay. Yeah, let's hear it.
So
hopefully I'm not a part of it.
No. I have a good friend. And she was dating this guy. She met at a club, and she met him at a club in LA, and at the time she was in Oakland, and they really vibed. And so when she left, this is when people are still using phones. They kept in contact.
Still using phones? Everybody's still using phones. What do you mean?
We mean like a landline.
Oh, okay, like pay phones and home phones.
Okay. So they really connected. While she was in Oakland, because they was talking all the time. So she planned to go and see him. So she went and saw him. He picked her up, went to the hotel room.
From where to where?
He picked her up from the airport.
What city is the city?
She flew from Oakland. Remember, she was
to
from
LA?
Oakland, to LA.
Okay. He picked her up in LA.
Yeah, she was just going to be there the weekend. And so they went out, they hung out, whatever. She's a drinker. And I guess it came time
to do the deed. And
she said, Kenya, when he whipped it out, it was so small. She's a size queen. It was so small. She said, I'm going to need another drink.
Was the guy black?
He was black. But
sorry.
She said actually he was black and he was a black light skin, and she said he was attractive.
I don't know why I took a little satisfaction in
that.
that.
She had to get a couple of more drinks.
That's not true.
Needless to say, for Tracy, that weekend was the last weekend.
Guess he couldn't pound it like a rabbit.
Rabbits have big penises?
No, they go fast. Oh. Like if it's small, like.
Oh. Do women
I
want
don't know,
fast?
man. It's like friction. We're starting a fire.
Oh. Okay. I mean, sometimes you want fast. I guess.
Do you have any PG topics you want to talk about?
Yeah. Okay. So listen. So we're talking about flying, and we just flew. I'm over here. You looking at my notes?
I am. I wonder where you're going with this.
Okay.
Don't worry.
So we just flew, and I watched this doc called Amazing Grace about Aretha Franklin. Okay. So if I watched it because I love Aretha Franklin, but I love her even more. So this whole doc is really about her taping, making an album in a church, and they are doing it live, and they had a film crew. So she
What year?
speaks. I mean, she still had the little afro. So I mean,
that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it took years. I mean, obviously, probably decades for this to come out.
Clearly,
because her father is still alive also in it. But anyways,
she's still alive in it. She's been gone for a while.
Yeah. But I mean, this is when she was like smaller, like a lot smaller.
So this might have been the 60s or 70s.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so it's filmed in this black church. And when I say to you, if she speaks 10 words in this whole documentary, I would be over exaggerating. I do not remember hearing one sentence unless she's like talking to someone in the music production, like, okay, let's go, or can I get some water? It is really all about her music. She never once spoke to the audience at all. Almost like I'm walking in and I don't need to say anything because my music speaks for itself. But when she sang, even on the plane, it really, to hear her voice and the strength and the tone brought tears to my eyes. It was the weirdest
What's
thing.
your favorite Aretha Franklin song?
Gosh.
I know mine.
I love to hear her sing Amazing Grace. I just love to hear her sing that song.
I like you. How man likes a woman. You make me.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
You know what it reminds me of? The Big
What?
Chill, the movie.
Oh, did they have that in that?
That's one of the most underrated movies that had a great soundtrack. Because the reason looking out across the moon.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Oh,
Let me ask you this. Talk about the Aretha Franklin, The Big Chill. We'll combine it. And I don't know if you've ever seen the movie The Big Chill. Have you?
I have, but that was a one time.
Oh, I thought it was good.
Okay.
I could watch it again.
That once.
The one thing I would ask about a couple. So you got these best friends from college or lifelong friends. And I always say lifelong friends are those that you ain't got to talk to them all the time. But when you see them, it's like no time has passed.
Right.
So the one girl, she couldn't, this guy is married to his wife, and the woman just has the worst luck of men, and her biological clock is ticking. She wants to have a baby, but she wants to have it with the right guy. She's almost like you a little bit. Like, I'm looking at all the characteristics of a man. Like, is he good to people? Is he nice to people? Does he have a rational behavior? And since she can't find a dude, she tells her husband, go get her pregnant, sleep with her one time so she can have a baby.
Her friend says to the husband, go have sex with her.
His wife,
right,
says to him,
go have sex and get her pregnant.
Get her pregnant.
That's some white shit.
Ain't
nobody saying that. And if we're talking about,
and that was the song they played.
Wait, listen.
You make me feel like.
Did he do it?
Yeah.
Okay,
and they came down and everything was good. They were happy, and the wife was. I'm sure it was. The whole movie takes place over a weekend.
Okay.
But she tells, like, what happens is everybody kind of knows all the guys that are there because the Big Chill is about all these college friends from the University of Michigan. They come together because one of their college buddies passes away. And Kevin Costner was the guy that passed away. He was the guy in the casket. A lot of people know that. He had no lines. He was just laying in the casket.
Oh.
And they all come together for a weekend at somebody's house. And the girl is basically like, I want to have a kid, but I don't think she wants the commitment. She doesn't want the dad. She just wants a kid and raise it. I want that experience. And so you got all the guys kind of putting their dibs in, all the single guys that are at the college guy. They're all in their like early 30s then. Yeah. But they're all like putting in, Jeff Goldblum was there and he was like, just think about it. They're playing football. He goes, think about it. I'm a good guy. And then another guy, and she doesn't think any of them are right. And then the one guy that's got his shit together, and it was Kevin Kline. And that's who played it.
Okay.
And Glenn Close was his wife in that movie.
See?
That cast was amazing.
Yeah.
And Glenn Close
who
tells
was the
Kevin Kline.
dark hair woman? It was a dark hair woman in that movie.
I know she's been in a lot of movies, but I don't know her name. I'll look it up. But yeah, would you ever do that?
Tell you to go have sex with somebody else?
I didn't say me. I just said hypothetically.
No.
I did not say me.
No, because what happens...
Depending on who it was.
Well,
but would you?
No. I would never say to my husband or somebody I'm in a relationship to go get somebody else pregnant. Because then you know what you're going to have? You're going to have child support issues. You're going to have babysitting
No, this
issues.
isn't like that. This is white shit. This ain't black shit. This white shit.
She may fall on hard times. No, I would not do that. I would not do that. Especially when you got a house full of single guys.
She was very well off too, I think, in the movie.
Yeah, no,
she was doing her thing.
I wouldn't do that. Would you let me have sex with a guy that wants vice versa?
What do you mean?
Would have someone else's baby, like one of my guy friends.
Want someone with you pregnant? You're not carrying another guy's baby. That comes a lot comes with that. What? Titties get saggy? You get stretch marks on your stomach?
What if he says but I didn't get stretch marks. So
you didn't, but you could. Okay. Dude, if you got pregnant by Shaq, that your stomach would, I don't know if it can hold Shaq's baby.
What if somebody said, can you donate an egg?
Donate an egg? What do you mean?
Like, can I donate an egg to maybe somebody's, a couple that we know? Like,
how much?
How much? Oh, the friends?
I'm like this. How much?
What's your price? People pay a lot for
I don't know. How much? So they want you to donate your egg?
Yeah.
So it's your personality.
Yeah.
But it's not your baby. You have no responsibility.
That's what they say.
But the problem with you is you would become so emotionally like tied to that baby. Because every now and then you'd have a moment where like, I have a child. I don't even know it is out there.
But I think I would be so
then ends up being a serial killer.
Like, oh yeah, we got a babysitter from Nanny 911. I'd be like, don't leave my baby with that. You know what I mean? So that would not
your
work.
Baby.
Exactly. They would say it's not my baby, but I would feel like it's my baby.
No, we never had a babysitter for our kids.
Yeah, so no, that wouldn't work. That's just, I don't know. But I think if one of my kids needed a surrogate, I would do that.
What do you mean?
Because I have a fantastic uterus, the doctor told me. So if like Kennedy couldn't have a kid or...
Oh, you would carry her baby?
Or Emilio's or Austin's, yeah. I would, but it wouldn't be like my egg. I mean, it would be their eggs and their sperms. But if they needed a fantastic uterus, I had it.
Our son just went disgusting in the back.
I thought it was helpful. See,
yeah, let's change the subject. I don't know. My fault. I forgot we have children in the house.
Yes.
I forgot we have children in the house.
Yes.
All I heard was in the back. Disgusting.
Okay, so let me get back to this Aretha Franklin thing. So anyways, it is, it's not high def or anything like that, but it's really just interesting. And I have heard so many stories about her relationship with her father that I wanted. Her father, towards the end, comes up to introduce her and he talks. I wanted to have a conversation. He's throwing me off. So I wanted to see her interactions with her father, who she clearly says is responsible for, her sound and her career and everything, the beginning of her career. But I just learned some interesting things about her. So after that, I started Googling her. She used to always have her purse with her. Always, because she used to get paid in cash. And even when she was at the Kennedy Center
honors.
Yeah. She had her purse. She came on stage and she laid it right on top of the piano. Always had her purse because she says so many African-American artists have been ripped off by a promoter. So she would get paid in cash up front in her little purse and always had it.
Yeah. I know her agent was like, Aretha, it's fine. She had like a Jewish.
She probably heard one too many stories.
Yeah. I mean, granted, I say in any line of entertainment, whether it's rapping, R&B singing, comedy, plays, when you first start, man, you're going to get ripped off at some point because you got these fly-by-night promoters. Really? I've been ripped off a few times. Never lately, but always in the beginning of my career. Mm-hmm. I never had any horror stories. Well, the one was pretty bad. Oh, sorry. It was Meg Tilly. It was a black hair girl.
Yes,
Meg Tilly.
Yes.
Well, I went to Guam. One of my first road gigs, I go to Guam. I fly halfway across the earth. And I get there here's what happened. I'm flying. My flight gets turned around halfway to Hawaii. Kind of like what happened to us back when we went to Hawaii last year. So we go back to LAX. I sit at LAX for like 10 hours. Then we finally get back on the plane. By the time I landed in Guam, after this, I was supposed to get there a day early. The show was supposed to start at 8. I think I landed in Guam at 10 p.m. And this was pre 9/11. So it was a lot more lax. The guy was waiting on the runway with 2 cars and a police escort to the show. Guam ain't big. And this guy, his name was Pierre Crockrell, one of the biggest crooks out there. He's been run out of so many different cities and states. He's there with a police escort. We get to the venue. Now, the way he runs it is the comedy was supposed to be early and then it turns into a nightclub afterwards. So I didn't get there like 10:20. Show's supposed to start at 8. So I go up. I'm up there about 20.
Are the people still there?
Yeah, because it's a club now. So you got people there for the comedy show, but you got also people, and it's an outdoor beach type deal. So people were just kind of hanging. So a lot of people, they had a DJ playing. So the seats are still there, but it's a bar. So you got a host and a couple openers. So I'm up about 20, 30 minutes. I'm supposed to do an hour. I can feel the crowd. Like now it's getting towards 11. Now they're like, we're ready to party now, dude. Right. I literally looked over. I said, hey, man, on stage with the mic. I said, I know it's supposed to be up an hour, but looks like everybody's ready to party. Show's been awesome. I said, can we wrap this up a little early? I asked the crowd. I go, you guys go with that? You ready to party? I said, I'm here. I'm ready to party with you guys. They were like, yeah. Good night. Great. I was supposed to get $500. I flew to Guam for $500.
He flew you.
He flew me to Guam. He gave me $250. He said, yeah, man, this is how it is. I've never been on the road before. I don't know. He goes, yeah, this is how it is, man. You know, you only did half the show. So it's $250. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't know any better, right? So I went, I don't know any better. So then I stayed in Guam another day. I was supposed to be here 3 days. Now I'm down to 1 day. And I fly back. And he asked me to come play his charity basketball game with Old and Polynese a couple months later. Because he said they liked you here. The crowd liked you. And he was going to do another big comedy show that night. So again, he's going to be $500 again. He flies me out to Guam again. I still don't know. I don't know any better. I fly back out to Guam. He puts me at one of the shittiest hotels I've ever stayed in my life. Right now, the pamphlet that I got said I was staying at the West End in Guam, right on the beach. So I go off on him. I go, you said I was at the West End. I'm at the West End of the island. And then I'm going off. Anybody can in earshot of me every time we go out to eat, everything. Then we're at the golf. There's a golf event. We're at this lodge, and I'm bagging on him. Dude, this hotel's shitty. My water didn't work.
What?
I got a bath in the pool. I had to get some shampoo. I got a bath in the pool. Then he left me there for a day.
The craziest story.
Hold on. He left me there for a day. I don't know anywhere in Guam to eat. There's a Burger King about a half a mile down the road. I ate a Burger King the whole first day, right? Because I got there like in the middle of the night, and they didn't need me until the next day. So I had a whole day by myself. The water fucking didn't work. So I remember there was a tight end for the Rams, and there was another guy named Tony Royster was the other comedian. So we're all there bitching and complaining, right? So the Rams guy goes, I'm going to talk to him. We got to get out of this shit. So the Rams tight end got moved over, right? So I see him at the golf, and I said, dude, you got moved? I didn't get moved. He goes, yeah, man. He goes, I had to pay for my own room, though. He goes, I'll never come back to this shit. I had to pay for my room. So Pierre, I'm talking to him. He goes, yeah, I had to pay for his room. That was the last room they had. They got a hurricane or something, so a lot of people were stuck. He's lying. So now I caught him in a lie. The Rams guy just said he paid for his room. Pierre said he paid for it. I went. So I'm like, oh, you guys are lying. So I'm going off. Pierre stands up in the middle of this golf thing and goes, hey, man, I'm sick of you talking shit to me. He goes, you got to be watching you do it. And he's threatening me. He goes, man, I can have you killed out here. As I'm letting you know, I go, well, I'm going to tell the hitman, get his money up front. Because if you don't pay him in full, he probably ain't going to get the rest of it once I'm dead. And everybody lost it, right? Well, I'm going to tell the hitman, get his money up front. So he goes, you're gone. So I was literally on a flight like an hour later. I said, I ain't begging to stay. So now I'm flying all the way fucking back to LA from Guam. Never got to do the comedy show, the charity basketball game. The golf was the first day and that was it. So I get back and now I'm like, fuck Old and Polynese. Fuck this guy, Pierre Crockwell. So I'm living in San Diego at the time, right? So I'm down there in San Diego, and I'm telling my boys down there what happened. And this girl that was just in the room, that when I was talking at the Comedy Store something about what happened, she goes, who was it? What's that guy's name? I go, Pierre Crockwell. She goes, hold on. She calls her dad. Mm-hmm. Her dad comes up to the Comedy Store and pulls me aside. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? He goes, what was the guy's name? I go, Pierre Crockwell. And he goes, about 6'6", light-skinned black dude. I go, yeah. So the girl goes, I told you, Dad. I told you. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Mm-hmm. So I guess Def Comedy Jam came to San Diego the year before. Mm-hmm. Pierre was living in San Diego. Mm-hmm. He was one of the, 4 people partnered up and brought Def Jam. Pierre went to the box office to settle with the house and had a plane waiting to go to Guam. So he ripped off all the promoters. Nobody got paid on that Def Jam show. He took the money, I guess it was like 50,000, and rolled to Guam. Had it all set up.
Her dad was one of the investors?
Yep. Her dad was one of the guys that invested with Pierre. And they said Pierre never put up any money. His thing was to help book the comics, and he was going to settle and everything. They said he went to the box office right when the show was going on, got the money because he was the guy handling all that shit, and split town.
And they didn't know where he was.
They didn't know where he was. Motherfuckers at Guam. Now they know. So then he got ran out of Guam. Then they find out, he ripped the people off in Guam. He was ripping off all kinds of people there. Then he goes to Seattle. No, he goes to Alaska, and he starts doing shit. He's always in these weird cities. He's in Anchorage. Mm-hmm. Somebody finds out I know Pierre. They hear the story about Guam. The guy goes, hey, you know this guy Pierre? I go, yeah, motherfucker ripped me off in Guam. He's like, well, he came here and ripped the Indians off. The Indian reservations or something.
Yeah.
The chiefs, because he started bringing shows.
I think they're called Native Americans.
Native Americans? I don't know. But he ripped off some people in Alaska. He said he was going to bring a show. So he brought Cedric, right? Mm-hmm. So he ended up paying Cedric, and everybody got paid, and they did it at this venue. And then the next show, then he got a budget. And once he got the big budget, they thought he was going to bring people on the level of Cedric. Mm-hmm. Nah, he took the money and split town. So he probably got a couple $100,000 out of there. Went to Seattle, started doing shows in Seattle. And I just know, I was like, I can't believe that dude's still alive. As many places he's ripped people off. That's San Diego, Guam, and Alaska.
How long ago did you hear he was in?
Well, Guam was 21 years ago. And so that San Diego was 22, 23 years ago. That's when Def Jam was touring.
Seattle. That was the last place you heard him.
Seattle, this is probably 12 years ago. I heard he's in Seattle. Because Alaska was like 17 years ago I was there. Oh. And the guy heard about my story with Pierre somehow and was telling me how he ripped him. Oh, the guy brought me to Alaska like 3 times and he worked for the pipeline. So he had like the little oil money. So he said to me, he goes, dude, I just like bringing entertainment to the city. I live here. My family's here. He goes, and that's what brought up. He goes, yeah, we had one guy that he was ripping everybody off. He was saying he was bringing shows and wasn't. And then I tell him randomly about Pierre. He goes, that's him. That's the guy who was ripping people off over here in Anchorage. I was like, what? And then I was in Seattle. I don't know what that is. But if anybody knows, I don't mind snitching on crooks. His name is Pierre Crockwell.
So just watch your coins, Pierre. You may want to settle. You do the settling, and then you pay Pierre.
Yeah, I bet you when this airs, I bet you people will send me messages about him. You can't burn that many bridges. But I heard he's banned from a lot of cities. That ain't just the only 3. Oh. Like that's his MO.
Wow.
Yeah, Pierre.
And that was 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So speaking of ripping people off, so a couple of months ago, there was a woman who through WAG. WAG is like, you can get on WAG if you have a dog. She had a dog. And you can get people to come and walk your dog, come dog sit for you, whatever. So she reached out to a woman that had like 255 5-star ratings to come and stay the weekend with her dog because she was going to go to a wedding someplace else. So she got this woman, they had an agreement, I think it was like $300 and some odd for her to stay with the 2 dogs. And she had a couple of rules, like no one in the house but you, simple rules. She told the lady, I have a doggy cam, which is like a baby cam and a monitor and everything. So the lady leaves, happens to sign in to the doggy cam and sees the lady walking around naked in her house, sitting on her sofa in her favorite spot, the owner's favorite spot of the sofa. The lady is naked. Okay. So she didn't. And she cannot believe this because she told the lady, I have a camera. I have a camera. Then she sees the girl's boyfriend coming and going, them making out on the sofa. Then she leads the boyfriend into the bedroom, closes the door and leaves the dogs like barking at the door on the opposite side of it. So the lady also had her parents coming over or whatever. So she immediately rushes home. And WAG, the company, they fire her, and she confronts the lady like, listen, I told you I had this camera, I see you walking around naked. And the lady says, well, I don't like clothes. So I'm always naked. And as she tells her, and it was hot. So the lady's like, what about the boyfriend? You had, you and your boyfriend was making out all over my sofa and you went and had sex. So she denies the sex. And the lady said, I don't know, but I'm sure that they had sex. But the lady says she don't even touch the sofa.
But did they do it doggy style? That's the key.
We don't know because there's no camera and she locked the dogs out, so they can't tell the story.
The weird shit about dogs is, they can't talk, but God damn, they will stare the fuck out of you. We've messed around a couple of times and the dog was in the room and I was like, this is weird. Dog just looking at you like this. Our dog ain't got no problem being a voyeur. Daisy should be like,
but she doesn't like you guys that close to me anyways.
True.
She'll just come and lay her body literally on top of mine, near my face, across my chest.
We got to change. I forgot Austin's listening.
So.
We got to change the subject. Sorry about that.
Well, who cares?
I'm waiting for
he's a grown man.
But, okay.
So, anyways, Keith, let me just tell you what's so funny is I could feel my little necklace right here. I know it's very dainty, but it's really cute. I like it mixed with the star. And it is my breasts have eaten its little chain. It's like a soldier. It's like one soldier fighting a really big war. Anyways, this is kind of funny. So I'm not going to take it off because it's kind of funny. So
that'll get them to iTunes. I mean, that'll get them to YouTube if you're listening to this on iTunes for sure. Let me see that one soldier fighting the war. Remember the Alamo.
Okay. So anyways, she got her money back from Wax and that was over. But I have a question for you. So it is recently this transgendered woman. Okay, first let me tell you guys what transgendered is. So transgender.
They know what transgender is.
I'm going to tell them again. Transgender is when you identify with the opposite sex. So if you take it further than that and change your private part, then you will become a transsexual. Okay, so this person is a transgendered woman, means it was a man and identifies as a woman. So she goes on to win an NCAA Division II 400-meter hurdle event. So she wins it. She wins the championship. And she's also elected to first teams. Okay. The year before, she is participating in male events, male track events, which she came in 8th. All right. So keep in mind, she's transgendered, not transsexual, which means she still has the same sort of...
She has a penis.
Right. But she also still has the testosterone level of a man.
You can't.
So let me tell you what about testosterone, in case you don't know. It is responsible for your libido, your strength.
Dude, hold on. If they don't know what testosterone is, they don't know what libido is.
Okay. Well, you wanting to have sex, you being interested in sex. Okay. And your muscle mass and your strength. Now, a little bit of the testosterone will turn into some form of estrogen called estradiol or something like that, but it turns into a form of estrogen. But right now she's still transgendered. Do you think a transgendered woman should be able to participate in an all-female event?
No. Even if she had the surgery, no. You were born a male. That's you have an advantage. Mm-hmm. Men just naturally are bigger, stronger, faster than women. They just have testosterone, the way we're structured.
This is most men.
Yeah,
most times,
structure, but that is not fair. That's an advantage. And I'm sorry. The transgender should have their own sporting events. They should have their own championships. Mm-hmm. If you got male, female, and if you get enough,
it's even.
It's not fair.
Yeah,
it's not fair. It's just not fair. That's why females don't participate. we get too caught up in trying to be politically correct, and we get too caught up in everything's got to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
Everything isn't fair in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And that just isn't fair. It's not fair to those girls that have been trained their whole life. For this. And then you got somebody coming in that was a dude. This ain't Joanna Man.
I didn't watch that stupid movie. Was that good?
It was pretty good. Tommy Davidson stole it.
Oh.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
No, I didn't see that.
No,
I agree with you. I don't have a problem with transgenders, but I don't think they should be able to participate in the I don't know the sport. I'm confusing myself. Whatever. I don't think
in any sport
should be able to participate. Now, if he wants to be dressed up as a woman and participate in a male sport, I don't have a problem with that.
Right. That's okay.
Yeah.
You can't be a dude trying to be if you were born a dude, and whether you're transgender, transsexual, wherever.
I don't know about transsexual. I think
you still were born a dude.
But you don't have the same level as testosterone.
I get it. But you naturally, you were supposed to be a man and a boy. Mm-hmm. Naturally. That's how you were born. So I don't have a problem with you participating in male sports or against dudes, but you can't go against female. That's an advantage. That's just an advantage. And people are making a big deal out of nothing. Your dream was not to be an athlete. Your dream was to be a woman. If you're a transgender, don't be having too many dreams. My dream was to win Olympic gold medal as a woman. No, your dream was to be a woman. You can get that dream. You can have that dream.
I do think perhaps transgendered males should have their own sports. I don't think they should
their own Olympics, their own events.
Yeah,
yes,
I don't think they should be able to participate with just women, because she probably took away some. Obviously, she did take away some girls, opportunity to be a champion. So,
that's not fair.
No, it's not fair.
I think most people would agree with that. Mm-hmm. And the people that don't they'll make the most noise, but they're very much in the minority. Mm-hmm. Very much.
And just because we were just talking about fair, can we talk about OJ for a minute?
Yeah.
Okay. So OJ Simpson.
Yeah.
I
was hoping you'd talk about OJ.
Has recently made a statement that he is loving retirement. He's playing golf every day. He is dating. Lives in Las Vegas. Like, really, he doesn't have any complaints. He had his knees, or he had some knee replacements and some
the dude was in prison.
Eye surgery.
Of course he's having time of his life.
He says he never thinks about the Nicole Brown situation, and he hasn't thought about it in 25 years.
But he talked about it.
He talked about it enough to say, I don't think about it at all. It never crosses my mind. Okay. And I think that's so unfair. That really bothers me. First of all, because he still has kids by Nicole. And I've always thought he did it, but I think he did it, and he's like living his best life. I think that's so heartless. Like, how do you never think about your ex-wife?
I think he has found a way to troll the people against him, because he gets attacked so much, as he should, honestly, as he should.
Right.
I'm not justifying it, but I think he just gets so sick of everybody coming at him every day and people heckling him every day. He's like, you know what? I don't even think about Nicole. I think it's his way of firing back as much as he can. Oh, really? I don't even think about it.
Do you think it's weird that he is dating? Like, women are dating him?
I don't know. Different.
Like
it ain't no
story.
It's no different than women dating men on death row and serial killers.
That's
which
true.
The thing about OJ is, I think he had a temper problem. I think he had, I think he did it. He killed it. He had that moment that he couldn't control himself. But do I think he's a serial killer and he's still a threat to society? No. If I'm being blunt, I don't think he'd kill again. Or that I think for whatever reason, I hate to say the perfect scenario happened, but whatever was going on in his life at that time, and he lost complete control and killed 2 innocent people. But I don't think he's a Charles Manson or a Ted Bundy.
Well, if I was a woman dating him, I would think as soon as it was over and I decided to move on and date somebody else, I would be next. So I would not be fooling with OJ unless my plan was just to stay forever with OJ Simpson.
He's a charming dude, though. because I met him a few times.
Yeah,
that dude is. He came to my show in Miami years ago, probably about 2002, way before the Vegas stuff happened, and that's when he was living in Miami. Mm-hmm. And he walked in, and they told me, they go, OJ's here, and I go, okay, what do you want me to do about it? I'm not heckling. If he heckles me, I'm not going at him. So he literally told the host, he goes, look, man, if you announce I'm here, I can't stop you from doing that. He said, but just give me a heads up. And OJ came with some guys, but there were some white women with him too. Mm-hmm. When that host said, we got OJ in the building, first of all, the crowd went nuts, cheering. Secondly, this motherfucker moved to sit between two black girls. I said, God damn, this motherfucker's a G.
So he did not want to be...
He didn't want to be sitting between two white girls when they announced him he was there. So when they said, OJ's in the building, I was on the side. I looked. I said, that motherfucker was sitting between two black girls. He moved. Mm-hmm. Right before they said that. Mm-hmm. He said he told the host.
He was doing the Bow Wow challenge before Bow Wow did the Bow Wow challenge.
He wanted to make sure when he was getting love from everybody. And then afterwards, the old Miami Improv, I'm sitting at the bar. He comes up, starts talking to me, and you forget, he's probably a killer. You forget, right? So you're like, he talks to me about, usually when I say I'm from Cincinnati, a lot of times the conversation ends right there. Mm-hmm. Right? Oh, Cincinnati, they move on. Mm-hmm. No. OJ proceeded to tell me how when he was in Buffalo, how they played Cincinnati, where they stayed at, what he liked about the city. I was like, I literally got caught up in a conversation like, oh shit. Mm-hmm. But there's something about those people, man. We talked about this with a couple weeks ago with the Superhead video. Oh. When I mentioned it, when I met Superhead, mm-hmm. Corinne Steffens, and you met her. She's charming. Mm-hmm. So you wonder, why do guys keep sleeping with her when they realize their business is probably going to be out there? And then when you meet her, you talk to her, you go, oh, they have a way to suck you in, man. And OJ was the same way. Like, I'm having a conversation, like, we old buddies. I was like, I left there like I liked him. Wendy Williams said that about him. When he came on her show.
Anytime you guys notice, whenever Wendy talks about OJ, it's almost like she has a little crush. It's always loving.
Well, she said that. She not I don't know about crush, but she said when he came on her radio show, and this when Wendy was notorious for going after people on a radio show. Mm-hmm. She'd bring up all the dirt and get under your skin. Mm-hmm. She brought OJ on to try to, go at him. Mm-hmm. And he got her. By halfway through, she goes, I like you, OJ, and I didn't want to like you.
Well, she still talks very fondly. She does believe he killed Nicole Brown Simpson, but she talks about him fondly, like, always reminds us how handsome he is and how charming he is. And not to talk so much about Wendy, but she is a nicer version of herself since this divorce, I think.
I was probably happy, but...
she clearly happy. But
I liked Wendy.
Healthier.
I always liked Wendy.
Yeah.
From jump. I always said that.
Yeah.
Vocally.
But she looks healthier.
She put me on her talk show when nobody else was. Mm-hmm. When Think Like a Man came out and I wasn't invited with all the other guys. Yes. Which is, let me be very clear, this is not a knock on the other guys either. They got nothing to do with it. They're just showing up. Mm-hmm. But for whatever reason, she was like, I'll bring Gary on after the movie comes out. And she did. Right as the movie came out, she brought me on. Mm-hmm. So
but people go at Wendy. Met that was really, you're an easy, likable guy. So, really, who have you met that was famous, that was, you thought, very rude or dismissive?
There's a couple football players, very famous ones. I was like, oh, guy's kind of a dick.
Oh, where are they at today?
Well, one's in the Hall of Fame.
Oh. So much.
One's in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, it's fine. No, there's one NFL player. He was a dick. Both times I met him, I was like, damn, I thought, because sometimes you meet people and you're like, might be having a bad day, or I met him at
not want to say his name?
I met him at a club.
I'm going to be like, why she didn't say his name?
You're right. It was Warren Sapp. He used to be with the Buccaneers.
Now you know Warren's an asshole.
Well, I don't want to say that, but he was an asshole to me a couple times. Here's what happened. Here's my two incidents with Warren. One, it was the Super Bowl was in Tampa. Uh-huh. And Andre Johnson, Santana Moss, Clinton Portis, they all came to my show at the Improv. I was there Super Bowl weekend. Okay. And they said, hey, we're going to this party at the Hard Rock. Come through. I said, great. And, Unc was there. Mm-hmm. Anytime I get to hang out with Andre Johnson and Unc, his uncle, mm-hmm. I'm there. I like hanging out with those guys. Mm-hmm. So Andre's so low-key.
Unc is the best. Uh-huh.
Unc is Andre Johnson's uncle. So Andre says, and this is so Andre. He's so low key to be one of the greatest wide receivers ever. He goes, just call me when you get there, Gary. I'll wait outside for you. Mm-hmm. So Andre waited outside the club for me to get there. So, because he's got to walk me in. So he walks me in, and we go to this section that I don't know whose section it is because all the Hurricanes are there. All ex-Miami Hurricane football players. So Centena's there. Warren wasn't at my show. So Andre goes, hey, this is Gary Owen. I stick my hand out. Warren doesn't shake it. I got my hand out. He just looked at me. And I went, okay. And then he just like walks away. And I looked at Andre, I go, what was that? He goes, Warren's weird. Like, it's fine. He's got to get to know you. And I go, all right, it's fine. And listen, when I go to people's sections, I don't try to drink off their bottles. If I drink, I'll go to the bar and buy a drink. Because I know what it's like. You got a bunch of guys. It's a Super Bowl. The last thing you want is more guys showing up at your section drinking your liquor when you're trying to give it. Did you don't know? And then you're out. All of a sudden, the girl wants a drink. You can't get her a drink because this dude you don't know. So I wasn't drinking any of Warren's liquor. I wasn't touching it. Right? Brad was with me. Clinton Portis says, "Hey G, hey, you want to pour me? Can you pour me a drink real quick?" He asked me to pour him a drink. No problem, Clint. What do you want? Let's say vodka and orange juice. I grab a glass. I grab the bottle. Warren runs up like he was going to stop me from pouring the drink. And I looked at him and I go, and Clinton goes, yo, that's for me. And Warren's like, he went like this. I'll never forget. He shook. He went, and then he was like walked away. And I went, what the fuck was that? So I poured Clinton his drink and I said, Clinton, what was that? He goes, that's just Warren. You got to get to know him. He's weird. I was like this. So that was the first time I met him.
Excuse me. I'm just adding his name to the list.
Oh, stop. That was the first time I met him. Then the next time I met him was in Miami, and I don't know, somewhere on South Beach or something. And again, somebody introduced me, and again, I was like, why did I do it again? He didn't shake my hand again. I was like this. I went, hey, what's up? He went like this. At least he acknowledges. He went like this. He was standing against the wall. I go, and I was like, dude, I don't want anything from you. Like,
ugly ass.
It was 2 times.
I think I remember him being ugly.
I don't know.
Has he had some legal problems, Warren, after that?
He got caught with the hookers in Phoenix at the Marriott.
That's what you get for being mean to Gary Owen.
Okay, yeah, that's what it was. Well, he was negotiating with the hookers. First of all, who the fuck negotiates with a hooker? The price is what it is.
Ugly.
The price is what it is. But the only thing I remember was I saw him out the night before the shit went down with the hookers and everything. We got in trouble. And I forget where I saw him, but I didn't even try to approach him or nothing, but I just saw him. Of course, I saw 90 other NFL players too at this party. And I just remember I went to bed and I had to get up at like 6 to catch a flight. And I just remember when I got up the next morning, the news had broke when I landed, right? And I was just thinking, damn. So he got in trouble like 4 or 5 in the morning. I said, damn, I was eating the oatmeal at the La Quinta Inn. And he was getting busted by the cops with the hookers. I go, choices. I just remember that Phoenix. I had that show in Phoenix and the promoter booked the show so late. He tried to put me an hour outside of Phoenix at some beautiful resort. And I said, dude, I am not going to Phoenix Super Bowl week and staying an hour away. I like to, you know me, I like athletes and hanging out and bullshitting. And I was like, so I had to pay it was like $350 a night at the La Quinta. And I remember when I got there, I talked to the front desk lady because that's the only thing they had left by the time I booked it. And I was like, you know, you're ripping me off, right? I literally told the guy at the front desk, I go, I'm going to get some food out of the pantry in the next 2 days. Don't charge me. Don't charge me. Because I'm like, my La Quinta Inn bill is going to be over $1,000 as it is. Do not charge me for the crackers and Coca-Cola if I grab one, please. And the guy's like this, got you, G. He was a black dude. I was bullshitting with him, but when I checked out, I had nothing on my pantry and I grabbed a bunch of shit. Tuna fish. Coffee, lattes.
Who grabs tuna fish from a hotel pantry?
What? It was in a can. Trying to eat halfway decent.
But how do you prepare it?
It's in a little bag. A little suction. Whatever. I'm just giving an example. Fuck it. I got a Twix. God damn. Can you took everything so literally? Who gets tuna? Anyways. Yeah, so it was Warren. That was that. If you ask me an asshole.
Yes.
And still to this day, I've seen him around other people, you know. I don't know. Maybe here's my thing. When people are an asshole to me like that, I just think they probably think they're better than me. is what I take it. That's how I internalize things. I'd be looking at them like this.
Okay.
And their brain, they're like this. He's not worthy. Because I've seen Warren out around other people that he probably didn't know. And he was cool when he thought they were at his level.
Okay.
Even that night at the Super Bowl.
Just know this.
No, hold on. Even that night at the Super Bowl, I saw him get introduced to a couple of the guys off Entourage that was there. Like Dylan, I don't know, Matt Dillon, and another guy. And the person introduced him, that motherfucker was smiling. Warren was smiling, giving him a high five. And I was like this. Damn, when he introduced me, it was like,
Well, the good thing that you should know is regardless if he thought he was better than you, at any point you can think you have never had to negotiate or pay for pussy. So there, let's put it all in perspective of how good Warren Sapp is or is not. So lucky you.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Have you ever had to negotiate or pay for pussy? Oh.
I'm basically paying for you.
I did want a refrigerator one year.
I was looking to tell you this. You, goddamn, that fucking soldier bought that necklace. Yeah, so I have paid for pussy in a roundabout way. All right, man. All right, well, I don't know how we ended. We ended strong. Anyways, Spokane. If you want to see me this weekend, there'll be no hookers. Ever.
Good.
At Spokane. All right, y'all. I don't know where we're going with this. Anyways, this is Gary Owen with the Get Some podcast.
Bye.
Had to end it.
Oh, shit. I'm so sorry.
I got it. It's fine. It's fine. Let her have her moment. If you want to listen to my podcast, just go to iTunes, search Gary Owen, #GetSome.